Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Can't Stop Talking podcast. I have an extremely special guest today. It is my client, Loretta. She has been my client on and off for 2 years, and she has one of, if not the most inspiring story to me ever. I told her story on my Instagram and you guys were absolutely freaking out. And I knew I had to have her on the podcast. So I'm so excited. If you're going to listen to one of my episodes, this is going to be the one. This can get you motivated for 2023 and honestly for the rest of your life. So you can come back to this video and watch it again and again. But this is Loretta. I'm so happy you're here.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm really excited. I feel
Yeah.
very special, very special.
Yes. And I bet you guys can tell she has the best accent in the world. That's my favorite part about coaching and having Zoom, that you can meet clients across the world. It's our dream to one day meet.
Yes, I would love to meet you, whether it's going to be in your neck of the woods or in mine. I think we should make it yours because you have better weather.
Yes, yes. Come to California. We would love you here. Yes. But
Yes.
so tell us, how did we meet? Right. I think that's always the best question. Like, how did you find me and then end up becoming my client?
Okay, so this one is a really lovely story with the element of the bit where it changed my life, I suppose, changed me who I am as a person because of what I was going through, my story. So I was probably the lowest I could have been. My husband was out of work, no fault of his own. They all was. The industry that he was in at the time was before COVID. They was all out of work, and it was like, oh, okay, this has happened before. Maybe a couple of months, and then obviously that got longer and longer, and 6 months turned into 8 months, and then it just got worse and worse. And we have our own house, we pay a mortgage, and it's not cheap, as most of us would know. And
Exactly.
yeah, and he was then out of work, and let's just shorten the story. He ended up being out of work for 2 years, but
Wow.
during that 2 years was also COVID. So it was kind of like would he have been out of work anyway because of COVID? And then, oh my god, it like ifs, what's, buts, I don't even know. But he ended up being out of work for all that time because we thought that's okay, work will come, work will come. He's a contractor, these things happen. But yeah, it was the worst time of our life because obviously we had no income coming in. And just to give you a little bit of background with me, I was off work. It was so typical with the timing. The way that he was out of work and the way that I was deliberately out of work, I had just made the decision to give up my job
Mm.
because I wasn't very well and I was having treatment. So I was having 2 years of treatment. Like the timing could not have been worse. I was really unwell and that was costing money because it was private. So it couldn't have been worse.
Mm.
So we was in a situation of not being able to pay our mortgage. We couldn't provide for the family. We have an 8-year-old son. He was obviously not 8 at the time. I have to do the maths on that one. Probably 5 at the time. And we've got 2 big dogs, 2 Labradors, and all of that costs money. And we had nothing coming in. And we were basically losing our house. We sold everything in it, every piece of furniture, every nice piece of clothing or shoes or bags or jewelry that we had, we sold just to be able to eat, and to be able to make payments on our mortgage. Then it came to the stage where, well, that isn't going to be enough money to pay our outgoings, to pay our bills. So we started to get in debt, saving our house.
Wow.
And we just kept on borrowing to pay to live, just to survive. But we would just do the bare minimum, like the mortgage. So whilst you're going through this, you're very much in fight or flight the whole time. And
Yeah.
so much of me feels like it happened to someone else when I talk about it now.
Wow.
I definitely couldn't have spoke about it when I was living in it. The only person I spoke about it with was you. So
Wow.
when I was living in it, I said to myself, looking back, I didn't know this at the time. Looking back, I was definitely depressed.
Mm.
Just 100%. And that's not a word I talk about lightly at all. And I just thought, something's got to give. Like, there's nothing for me to lose right now than to start a business or start something. I have to do something, because Dan was trying to get another job. It was in the middle of COVID, and oh my goodness, it was just not happening for us. And we were just one payment away from losing this house. And this
Wow.
was everything we ever wanted. Like, this was our dream house. This was what we wanted together. And we'd had it for 2 years, and then this happened. So we were just getting in the flow of having this house for 2 years and living this life we wanted, and doing our house up and doing our garden up. And then it all came crashing down, which is why I'm very much, when I say to people, like, if you're comfortable with money, and if you're comfortable, like, don't think it's always going to be there. Like, don't take it for granted. Because although my mindset on that has changed quite a bit, if you want to talk about money mindset.
Yes, we will.
But I do always say to people, like, don't take it for granted, because we were comfortable, we were happy, we were fine. And I was figuring out what I wanted to do on a natural basis while Dan was earning the money. And it all got taken away from us overnight. Literally the click of a finger. It wasn't a gradual thing. It was, right, you're out of work. And then what? It's not easy when you are in an industry where you are trained in that specific thing to just go out and get another job. It's a whole change of career. It doesn't work like that. And you can't earn the money that he was earning doing something else the very next day. You just can't. It's impossible. You have to build.
Yeah.
So I was just the lowest of the low, and I was like, okay, something's got to give. What shall I do? And I came across manifestation. I don't know how. I couldn't, because I do struggle to take myself back there mentally. There's just sections of that time period that I can visualize, and I can see myself. I remember being in the bedroom, and I was on my phone, and it was coming around to my birthday. I'm sure it was like January time that I contacted you. I remember it being around my birthday.
Yep.
And I contacted you when you had your old name.
Yes, manifesting queen.
Queen. That's it. When you had your old name, and I don't know how I come across you. I think I just started typing manifestation into Instagram, and then you popped up, and I looked at your website. I think I stalked your page and was like, okay, I really like this woman.
Oh.
And then I remember saying to Dan, there's this woman I've seen. She's in America. I'd never had any contact with anyone in America before, and now I literally have best friends in your country.
Yes.
It's crazy, all because of the path I chose to take. So that's how I found you, purely because I felt like I needed some sort of universal pull. I needed the universe. I needed a break, but I knew that it wasn't going to happen to me magically. I needed to make it happen for myself, and I needed to feel better. So that's when I contacted you and was like, oh, I've never done this before, but do you think you can help me? Because obviously in between all of that, I've missed off the bit where I set up my balloon business. I decided to do balloons, and that's a whole other story. But in relation to your question, and keeping it in relation to your question, that's the story. And then me contacting you, I wanted your help more for me, which is why I missed off the business part, because I wanted it more for me than I did for my business. And I do believe, like, the 6 months I did with you throughout that first period, and 3 months, and then another 3, or whatever I did, I can't remember the exact numbers. I feel like it was a lot of inner work first, before we moved on to my business, because I was never going to succeed if I carried on feeling the way that I was feeling. And we did deep work.
which is so crazy because people always think they just want the strategy. They want the strategy. They want the strategy. And we talk about strategy all day long, but the inner work, if you're going to do anything, is absolutely 80% of building a business and 80% of the reason that you're going to succeed. It's so important. And just switching your mindset.
I could not agree more. But it's funny how I didn't know that
Mm-hmm.
when I first met you, but I must have had some sort of intuition that that's what was needed, because that's why I came to you, because I didn't come to you for an explosion of my business.
Yes.
It's like I knew, but I was very resistant to it to begin with.
Mm.
But I very much agree with you now that I don't believe that you can run a successful business without doing the inner work and working on your mindset, because I just don't believe you can cope with the ups and downs of business if you're not strong in your mind.
1,000%. And it's so funny, you guys, because me and Loretta will talk about the messages she used to send me before she signed up. And I remember you were like, you have your work cut out for you. You would call yourself a negative Nancy. And you were like, I just can't fix my mindset. Like, that's what you kept going back to. And I was like, I cannot wait to work with this woman. Like, I need to work with you.
Yeah, I remember that, because I honestly felt like it might be a horrible way to explain myself, really, but I felt like damaged goods, complete damaged goods. And I was like, I don't know how she's going to help me, but it's worth the go. So I'm not that person that dips their toes in the water. I'm that person that just jumps in.
Yep.
I don't do anything by halves. I don't do anything without 100%, well, probably 150% effort.
Yep.
So when I met you, I knew it was going to be hard. I was resistant. I didn't believe in all of it to start with, but I wanted to. And I think that's the difference. I wanted to get better. And I honestly believed that I was damaged goods and couldn't be helped.
Wow. And so not only were you there with your mindset, but you also were $80,000 in debt.
Yeah, so we wasn't in debt. The debt racked up trying to save our home.
Exactly.
So yeah, we got in debt trying to live.
Wow. And so I went on to my story and asked my followers if they had any questions for you. And one of the questions was, and I thought this was such a good question, basically, how did you take the leap to invest in yourself when the money wasn't there, when you had so much you could have lost, basically?
Okay, so I found it really hard to invest the first time. Do you remember when we was going backwards and forwards with each other, and I was like, I really want to do it, I just can't afford it. I couldn't afford it.
Yep.
That's the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is I could not afford your services. And people now are like, oh, sorry, I'm going to divert a little.
No,
but
keep going.
People say, oh, it's not about your prices. I very much say to my girls all the time, please charge your worth. It's not your prices, it's them. Actually, I have versions of both ends of this spectrum, because most people are contacting you for a service knowing they can't really afford it, but what it is you're too expensive for them, right? But for me, you wasn't too expensive. I don't care what your prices were. I actually couldn't afford to eat. So it was a genuine case of I can't afford it. But something inside of me made me go, but you're already at the bottom. Like, your debt is already there. You can't get any worse, however much it was. Again, I don't even remember how much I spent with you, Sam. I haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
I think I locked it in a box and forgot about it. But do you know what it was? yes, I felt like damaged goods, and yes, I felt like I couldn't be fixed, but I was able to separate that part of me and the part that needed and wanted to succeed and
Wow.
earn money. So I took the leap pretty easy because I was already in debt. So we could have chucked another 10 grand on top of that. What difference would it have made? The shit was still real. So I
Yeah.
was like, I'm either going to get in more debt and make my life better, or stay where we are and just keep getting in more debt and we're going to lose our house. So, I mean, let's just take the leap down this road, because if I
Wow.
carried on the road that I was on, I was going to get nowhere. We were going to just lose. Whereas if I took a different path that I'd never tried before and felt something was calling me towards you, which I've never felt before,
Oh.
it was so easy for me. Once I'd made the decision, I knew that I'm a jump in, all in type of girl. So getting in more debt, putting you on my credit card, was the best debt I could have ever have got myself in.
I love that so much. And you are, the way that you speak just inspires me so much. But what you just said was brilliant. What I say on my Instagram stories and stuff is, you're not going to get anywhere if you stay the same. Like, you're doing the same thing over and over again. Nothing's going to change. And that's one of the best parts about investing, is that it gives you a different path. And the other thing I just wanted to say as a disclaimer, I think a lot of people always ask me, like, how could you accept a client who was in so much debt? And so what I tell everyone is, how it went is, I would never, you know me, I'm not a convincer in the DMs. I'm not someone, the way that the conversation went is, Loretta really wanted to work with me. I told her that, it couldn't, she was like, what do you think I should do? And I was like, I will never tell you, with having this much debt, to work with me. I said, I know I'm good at my job. I know I want to work with you. I know I'm capable of, helping your mindset and your business, but this decision has to come from you, and it has to be a hell yes. And I told her I tell all my clients, go and meditate on this, make sure I'm the right coach for you. And it really came from you. And so I think anyone going through the situation who's a coach on that side, and someone wants to invest in you, and they might have debt and they might tell you they can't afford you, let them make the decision, because you never want to be in a situation where you convince someone, they hop on to do coaching with you, and then they just are so upset that they ended up doing. So I was so proud of you. And I actually couldn't believe that you took the leap. Like, I was really detached from the outcome. I knew that I obviously wanted, that I knew I could help you. And I remember telling my mom, I was living at home because it was COVID. And I told
I
my
remember
mom,
that.
my whole
You told
family,
me this.
yes,
Yeah.
we are so close, you guys, me and Loretta, that my whole family, I just put you on my story, and my sister goes, that's the girl who has the balloon business. I remember her. But so I told my mom, I was like, I really, really want to work with this woman, and I know I can help her. And then when you said yes, I was just like, I was just so excited to get to work. I love that.
Yeah, 100%. I remember the messages clearly. And to be honest, I think the best thing that you did for me without even knowing was saying to me, this has to be your decision. If I'd have felt forced to do it, it would
Mm-hmm.
have pushed me away. So,
Oh,
because like, again, I'm that kind of character that if I feel uncomfortable, I remove myself. So the best thing that you ever did right from the start, even before you started helping me, was saying to me, this has to be your decision. I will never make that choice for you. And that's when I was like, I already know what my decision is. I want to work with you. I just need to find a way. And that's when obviously we decided to do a payment plan, and I put it on my credit card. I
I
think we broke it in
love
half.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
a
We just
thousand
broke it in
percent.
half, didn't we? I mean, it would have made no difference, let's be
Yeah.
honest. But it felt a little less like I wasn't going to have money by the time I needed the next payment to come out. The money was never going to be there that quick. So I was already like, it just made me feel more comfortable.
Yes.
Breaking it gave me some sort of, I don't know, it's like, again, it's a mindset thing. It made me go, oh, okay, if I do it in halves, it feels better. It
Yes.
makes no difference. But Yeah, you didn't even know that you really, by doing that, it was the best thing that you could have done, because it was my decision and I wanted it. And yeah, I can't, we couldn't have kept going down the same path. You've got to try something different. If that way's not working, try something else. And investing in myself from that day, which I'd never done before, investing in myself with you that day has just had a knock-on effect, and I have absolutely no problem investing in myself now,
Oh,
absolutely none, because I can see how important it is. You
yes.
can I Sometimes I wonder how people even get through life in general, not even running a business, like just life in general, without some sort of life coaching or just any kind of coaching. I just think it's magical, which hence the extra career I've added on.
I love that. And that's the best part about our relationship. And I always say, like, I am a life coach at heart, but we don't just do business. And like, that's what I like to do with all my clients. We do life, like, we're doing life together. So it's like, we're working on anything that's going on, because, like I always say, anything that's going on inside of you is a reflection of your business, and it's going to come out in different ways. So you're completely
Yeah.
right. Yes. And then I
Yeah,
had
and
some,
we
yeah.
experienced that, didn't we? In
Yeah.
when we first started with my mindset. Oh my God. Did I cry on nearly every call for the first like month?
I love that. What
I
I
think I
remember is she would be like, well, it's not going to work for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And to be that must have been so frustrating for you, because I've just spent this money that I don't have. I wanted it to work, but I was like, I'm just not sure this is going to work for me. But I kept at it, and
Yes.
that click happened. It did. I have to say, it did take me like a good 3 months before I felt a click. But I was very damaged, wasn't I? I had a lot of emotional issues surrounding money and what had happened to us in our house, my family, my childhood, everything. You go deep, and there's stuff you
Mm-hmm.
talk about that you didn't even realize could have been a trigger or a connection. And doing all of that work with you at the beginning, that was all based upon me, and doing the uncomfortable work that no
Yes.
one wants to do. It was doing the uncomfortable stuff that had the biggest impact on me.
And it's so crazy because I love everything that you're saying. Um, the thought just literally left my head. Guys, I forgot to tell you, this is the only woman that I would do. I went out last night. It's a Sunday. I'm working on a Sunday, which I love actually, because I'm with this human and I'm hungover. This means I'm obsessed with this human. But you gave yourself, she is the ideal soulmate client. Like, when I say she is a soulmate client, she does everything that I ask of her, even if she doesn't think it's going to work. So a lot of people ask me,
Yeah.
they're like, okay, but what if I like don't believe in manifestation? What if I don't believe in my affirmations? What if I don't believe it's going to work? Do the steps. You don't have to believe it's going to work, actually, which is crazy. That it would help to
Yeah.
believe, but you just did
Yeah.
everything I asked you to, and little by little, all your walls were coming down.
Yeah. Do you know what it was for me?
Mm-hmm.
It was because, yeah, I didn't believe at first, but the why I think it worked for me is because I wanted it to work.
Yes. Yes.
Also, also, it was because I do believe that we need to create healthy habits
Yes.
and create habits in general. So the fact that I was constantly doing what you asked of me, and also when you spend money,
Yep.
why would you not do what they're telling you to do? Why
Yes.
would you not do it? Like, what a waste of money, how pointless, how ridiculous. So of course I needed to put my all into it, even if that meant I was uncomfortable. I found it hard. It was the hardest time for me, because I was crying all the time.
Yeah.
So I was battling my emotions whilst trying to build an empire and
Yes.
trying to believe in myself when I didn't believe in myself. I thought I was damaged. Then I'm like, I want this to work, but do I believe in it? It feels a bit woo woo. And then it does work, because
Yeah.
all of a sudden you start to feel happier and you start to go, oh, okay, this works. And it's magical, and it's something I actually think you can't explain. It's almost like superhuman. And
Oh,
I think each person has to go through their own version of it or their own journey, because we're all different. And I felt so desperate for it that it had to work. There wasn't an option. It had to work. Whether
absolutely.
that meant I booked in with you for a whole year, that had to freaking work.
Yes. And I remember what I was going to say. I love how you keep saying, like, I came to you and I was damaged goods. As a coach, as my value as a coach is, I saw you as whole when you came to me. Like, I saw you as a whole, and my job was for you to see yourself as whole and worthy, because you already
Well,
were.
do you know how I see that?
Yeah.
I see it as I was broken and you helped put me back together.
Oh, I love that.
That's how I see it. That's how I see it, because I didn't have anyone. But when I say that, I had my mum and I had Dan, but we was all living this nightmare together.
Mhm,
So we
mhm.
were just leaning on each other and supporting each other through it in a coping mechanism way. We wasn't living life and we wasn't seeing things clearly. There was no clarity. It was just a foggy, let's just survive this moment. Whereas with you, it was such an escape when I came on the calls, because you could, I feel like, clear my head and make me think, okay, that's what I'll practice next, that's what I'll do next. And I took all of that into my real life of what I was living with and made it work.
I love that. And what's so special, you guys, is the best part, we're going to get into all the things that happened, but really, I think the best part of coaching is becoming that happier person. And because of that, and because of feeling worthy, the things that we did that first time. So we'll get to where she is now, but when we started working together, you had a little sticky note of goals that we were
I
doing.
did.
And so I have some of it here. We wanted to double your income. We wanted to double your followers. You had less than 1,000 followers, a lot less. And you were making, I forget what you were making at that time, but we wanted to double it. You wanted to make your first reel. You wanted to show up on stories, get over fear of being seen, change your mindset. You wanted to go live. Oh, you wanted to quit your job. You were doing a temporary, like, part-time
Job at my
job.
son's, well, yeah, I was working at my son's school. Yeah, and it wasn't a career.
Yes. And every single thing, you guys, that we wrote down, she smashed every single goal, doubled her followers, doubled her income, quit her
Yeah.
job, like showed up on your stories, like you smashed it.
Yeah, every single one. Every single one. I will always keep this yellow sticky note.
I couldn't believe you kept it.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever.
I will
I
always
love
keep
that.
it. In fact, I'm gonna put it back up where it belongs, up on my vision board.
I love it. And so she is a new freaking human from the day that we met. And one of my favorite things is, well, so yeah, so she smashed all those goals. But when we met, you kind of told me the story how you haven't been having the best Christmases.
Well, that's because we had wonderful Christmases, and then when Dan was out of work, I think it was 2 Christmases that we we struggled with, because how do you
Yeah.
afford Christmas when you can't afford your life? You can't afford to eat. Like, we
Yes.
went without food. Like, my dogs went without food. Well, they didn't. What we had to do was share it between the 2 dogs. It was horrific.
Wow.
I even considered at one point, is it unfair to keep the dogs? Like, should we
Yeah.
have to give them up? Like, but they're our extended children, aren't they? They're Sonny's little
Yes.
friends. Like, that's just not something that was an option. Luckily, a friend of ours bought some dog food for us for a few months. We did experience kindness on another level with two of our friends, which is why it has really, really lit this fire in my belly about kindness. And it's this whole situation that happened to me. I've always had a heart of gold, and I've always been a kind person. I think it's always been in me. I don't think you magically just decide to be a better person one day and whatever. I was always like this, but the fire in my belly for kindness, which is why I support that so much on my Instagram, and it's why I am the way I am, is because of the situation that I've been through. And they do say, don't they, the most like miserable situations and the people that have got the biggest smiles on their faces can be the ones that have suffered the most. And that is definitely my life story.
Wow.
And it is why I have to show kindness to people all the time. And it's it means literally everything to me to be like that. So yeah, the kindness at that time was massive. And then coming back to the Christmas question, we did have wonderful Christmases, and my son would never know the 2 Christmases we had, because luckily he was young enough to not notice. And we got through them, and actually I can't even take myself back to them couple of Christmases. It just meant that I didn't buy presents for my mum or Dan, or I didn't buy for anybody, and I don't really remember how we did it. And I think because Sonny was young and toys, and you can get away with a few, I honestly, it's a blur, but we made them work. But I can see where this is going. You're now going to say we're going to have an amazing Christmas this year.
And so we were just on a one-on-one call earlier this week, and I always say I only take soulmate clients. I only take, if you're my client, you're going to be my best friend. We started the call, not diving right into business, but she was actually showing me pictures of her family and their holiday cards. And I love your son. Obviously, he's come on our calls before and I've chatted with him, and he's sent me like voice notes in Voxer. I just love it so much. But she shared with me that she was able to spend exactly what she wanted and even more without blinking an eye on your family's Christmas this year. And that alone, I think, sums up our whole time together, that you went from that time when you first started working with me to not having the Christmas that you would have wanted, to now having the Christmas that you want and more.
Oh my God, it's the nicest feeling, because I think Christmas can be, I'm very, very cautious that Christmas is such a hard time for people, mentally and financially.
Yes.
And I actually, Christmas is my favorite time of year, but I actually get really emotional every Christmas. I'm just such a softie. I just don't cope with it very well. I cry every Christmas and I cry every New Year. I just get this like emotion come over me of like, I don't know, it's probably quite depressing really, but I always just think about people that don't have what I have, and but even when I was going through what I was going through, I was still so grateful. We still had the roof over our head. The Christmas tree still went up, and we still put stuff under the tree for Sonny that he would never, ever have noticed. But this year, I done Christmas like back in October, November, and it's all done. And it feels really weird because I haven't even felt the pinch. Like, wow. I've worked so hard to be able to one day afford whatever, like buy everything on his list, which, you know, part of me thinks, that's a spoiled child.
Yes.
But I wanted so much to do that. It was almost like one of my goals, one of my dreams.
Yes.
To just not feel that feeling of Christmas other than I can't wait and I'm going to enjoy it. And yeah, I'm ready ready for Christmas this year. And it's not always about the gifts, but my goodness, does it feel good to work so hard that it can be about the gifts.
Yes, I love that though. And it's okay to want what you want and have it all basically, and being okay with that. And you are such a giving person. It's a good thing to give, to have good people with money, right? We want the people who are good to have the money in the world. And you're that person. But even fast forwarding, because you guys are probably like, okay, where is Loretta now? You have completely, so 2 years later, completely wiped out your debt. Now, not only, and I don't know if we really explained to you guys, she has a balloon business. And when we first started working together, it was strictly a balloon business. And now she's adding in mini minds of her own and business coaching. She's so amazing at that. And then, yeah, so you have passive income coming on from, we're making that a thing in 2023. She has different forms of income, and wiped out the debt. Oh, I forgot this part. You went from under 1,000 followers to now she almost has 50,000 followers. Like, you are literally a pioneer in the balloon business and one of the most sought after in the industry. Like, it is crazy what 2 years and the hard, she works so damn hard, but where you are now is night and day.
Yeah. Well, the it was 2 years, and what did I say to you the other day? It was 2 years and 2 months, wasn't it, that I cleared the debt? 2 years and 2 months, and I cleared the debt on October 1st. And this is a really, really weird one for me. It's like quite a bit deep. I don't know. I don't know. I've never experienced this before. So I've never been in debt before. So I've never known the feeling of clearing debt. So when we had this, obviously, once I started, Dan did eventually get back into work, by the way. Let's share that piece of positivity. Yes. I started my balloon business. He got back in work, and it was like, oh my God, okay, so we need to juggle our new lives again now. So we've just had 2 years off at home together. What are we going to do? And I'm running this business. He's back in work. Okay, let's go. So every month we were checking what money was coming in, what we're earning. Every month with me, I did every single month. I needed to see visually what I was earning. And every month I checked it was going up, not down. Yes. And if it did go down, then obviously there's something that I'm not doing quite right. But luckily I was always on the rise, and I was like, this is great. So I have to say, I didn't take, apart from, there's not one holiday I had during that time. And I'm going to move on to a little bit about this, but there wasn't one break that I had, because I felt like I couldn't. I was a woman on a mission. Yes. I had to be debt free. Like, there was no room. From what we've been through, I could not allow that to happen again. We couldn't get in more debt. It needed to go away. It was weighing us down. Like, I can't tell you the feeling that was on my shoulders. That money, of owing money, felt so suffocating. And actually that word popped up so often in my family life, and I used to say to my mum all the time, I just feel suffocated. Yeah, I feel suffocated in my life. And it was all revolved around being in debt. And I just felt this tight-chested feeling all the time of like, I just need to get to the end goal, and the end goal is paying that debt. And because I had such a passion for paying it off, and such a need and want, I always do say that it was more of a want than a need, because need is that's a whole word I could talk about, but want was so much more of why I succeeded, because it had to happen. Yeah. So for me to just focus on that every single month, I just focused, and then it happened. And 2 years and 2 months of not knowing anything any different. So every single bit of money I earned went straight on the debt. It didn't go on anything else. Like, there was no, oh my God, I'm going to buy myself a new bag. I'm going to buy myself new shoes. What the hell? No, there was no buying of anything. I still to this day, which is really bad. I said to you the other day, haven't had my hair cut.
Yes.
And we've replaced Sonny's bedroom. He's got a whole brand new bedroom, and I can't tell you how incredible it was. He brand new bed, brand new carpet. We had all lights put in the ceiling. Oh my God, it's the best bedroom you could have, like gaming, football, everything.
Love it.
And we splashed out for his birthday, for his 8th birthday in March. And I still managed to do that and clear the debt in October.
Wow.
So but this is how I did it. I earned my money by not having a single day off. Please let me come to that at the end, though. Don't let me forget this, because it's important. Okay. I also didn't buy myself anything. There was nothing that was worth me buying that would make me feel like it was okay to do that before becoming debt free. So there was like, okay, once you're debt free, you can have them nice things. And also, when you live without them for so long, you realize they are not necessary.
Yes.
Like that side table with a nice mirror and a beautiful picture in your home with some pampas grass is not necessary. You don't need to live with it, right? It's just these stereotypical things that people have in their home. It's not going to help me live better, is it? So I decided, right, I'm not going to replace any of the furniture in our home. We lived with literally just a sofa and a TV in the lounge, and we had a dining table that my brother actually gave to me because we'd sold everything was gone.
Wow.
So I literally dedicated 2 years and 2 months of my life, early mornings, late nights, tears, stress, wanting to quit, crying, depression, stress, anxiety, happiness, extreme happiness with building the business, extreme lows with building the business. And I feel like I did this massive spin, and all of a sudden I'm like succeeding. I'm doing these amazing things, and I'm debt free in October, and I'm like, what just happened? And for me, I still don't feel like it has sunk in. I feel like it has been a bit, it's like an anti-climax, because I was waiting for this big, like, I don't know, like a big celebration to go off, or a big like knock at the door with someone blowing some trumpets and a big scroll to say, well done, you did it. And obviously the world didn't know that that's what I was doing. And nothing happened. I cleared that. I remember paying the last £4,000 off. And I was like, that's it. I've done it. And I went downstairs to Dan and I rang my mum and I said, I've done it. I've done it. It's done. Like, what now?
I love that.
Is when I sat there and said, what now? Because my drive and my ambition was all revolved around when I first met you, and the reason to save my family and to clear the debt.
Wow.
And that's what I did. But a lot of people, and I have had somebody say this to me, that but isn't that unhealthy? The way that I did it, but isn't that unhealthy? But my response was and is, what would you prefer me to do?
Yes.
Would you prefer to have not worked and every little bit of money now and again treated myself and took my family on a holiday and prolonged the debt? I don't agree with that method. I feel like for me personally, this is a personal method, and this is not a method I recommend anybody do. My personal method is don't stop, because if I sat down and stopped, I might have fallen off the wagon.
You did say that.
Yeah, and that's my personality, right? And people have come to me and said to me they think it's unhealthy that I didn't go out and socialize with people. But let me tell you, I didn't want to go out and socialize with anyone. I didn't want to. I didn't have time for that. I didn't have time to worry about anything else in my life other than sorting out what that was literally my mission, and no one was getting in my way of my mission. So
Yes.
you can see it as unhealthy all you like. I see it as passion driven and success at the end of it. What would you prefer? Ask yourself that. I know what I prefer.
Oh, I love that. And too, when you are doing something like this and you're falling in love with your business, like I would not be here on a Sunday if you guys know I don't usually work on the weekends. I have been wanting to work because I'm so in love with my business. It makes me happier, which I never thought that could even be, but now I understand why people are workaholics. It makes you happier. And it just makes you excited. But the other thing I wanted to say, which was really interesting that you gave a great perspective on, is people don't enjoy the process, right? And they just wait till the end of goal. I can't wait till my debt is wiped out. Then I'll be happier. And the truth is, like you said, no one came in and said, oh my God, Loretta, here's the like a big check saying your debt is wiped out and we're so happy for you. And here's a party. Like people always like don't live in the moment and know that the process is actually the best part of getting to your goal. I heard on a podcast the other day, it's like, where are you guys going so fast? Like the only impending thing we have is death, which is obviously a little morbid, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's like, be here now. We had so much fun building your business. I will never forget those times. We're still having so much fun expanding it, but like, it is so true that whatever you're waiting for in the future, access the feelings now because it's never going to feel the way that you think it's going to feel.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like you've just listened to me explain that story and you've listened to me talk about how some people may find that really unhealthy, but I've given you like a really condensed version of how I got there. We need to remember this was 2 years and 2 months in the
Yes.
making. So during those 2 years and 2 months, I did fall in love. I was completely obsessed with my business, and I fell in love with affirmations and the
Oh,
power of manifestation, and I fell in love with the journey towards my goal, because actually now I don't have that. I've had to sit here and reflect and say, what now? What
wow.
now? What's my drive now? Like I could stop, I could quit if I
Yeah.
want, but obviously now it's like, well, no, because I found a whole new passion
Yes.
of why I'm doing it now and what I'm working towards now. But the journey of getting there, everybody wants a quick fix. So
Yes.
people just want Instagram followers because they want this social proof and they
Mm-hmm.
want people almost like an acceptance. And you don't need that. And because I went into this with such naivety, that I think I grew my Instagram so quickly because I was so me. And I was
Yes.
so not bothered about how many followers I had. And I was just uploading content that I was obsessed with. Like, I was like, oh my God, these are the best balloons I've ever seen, because I
Yes.
believe that to be what I obviously there is some incredible artists out there that I look up to, but for me, I created that. So this
Oh,
was just art in my form. This was like ideas that were in my head that I've just brought to life. This was incredible for me. So I was uploading content without the attachment of being obsessed with people needing or having that need,
yeah.
again, that word need, having that need for people to accept me on Instagram. I was just uploading because I wanted to. And then once I started showing up on Instagram, which obviously I had that whole fear of being seen thing, which you helped me through, I have absolutely no issues with that now, clearly.
Yeah.
And I'm just me, and I just give off this energy because I know that I've got this energy in me. Look how much I talk, and look at the subjects I talk about. Look what I feel like I've got so much to give all the time that I'm like, why hold that back?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole energy on Instagram and the whole like showing up and uploading because I want to upload, all of that is what I fell in love with whilst I was on my journey to becoming debt-free end goal.
Absolutely. And something else I just wanted to bring up that you said to me the other day is you were like, I could not work for like 4 months right now and I would still be getting paid. Like that
Yeah.
is the goal, but we're actually working harder than we ever have, because one of the other reasons that I just love your story and want everyone to hear it is you never put yourself in a box. So you started this business just doing balloons, and now we have, just in the past like 3 months, honestly, maybe 4, so September.
Yeah.
And it's now December. We have added business coaching to your empire. And
Crazy.
the craziest thing is, I always tell this story over and over again of people who have had a launch and it didn't go well, and then they never want to sell that thing again. So you had tried to sell, a little backstory. Loretta was in my mini mind this round, and she just did such a good job coaching the other women as well, that we were like, she has a talent. She was like, I tried to do a mini mind in the past and it didn't work out, and you were nervous to relaunch it again. But then,
yeah, I changed the way that I was doing it. I was like, okay, maybe I'm not explaining this very well. And then I changed it to like the group mini mind. And yeah, it sold out within the hour.
It was insane, you guys. She sold out all her spots and then sold out all her spots for the next month after that.
Yeah. And I have to say, the first 8 women that booked on, those very, very first people, my first experience, I will never forget those women. Oh. They are literally like my best friends now. We've all meeting up. They've supported me on every single thing that I've ever done with my business. We're all going to see each other again in March when I go to do the training expo. And those women, and then those that have since signed up as well, because then don't forget, after September, I had new people come in October. That was only a month later. They are all, I've got girls in America, and we are all a community of just best friends, literally bigging each other up. And we're in the same industry. And that is what melts my heart. So every new person that comes in, all these women just literally engulf them and like, right, what's your page? Let me follow you. And it's just a barrage of love. And but no, I definitely don't put myself in a box, because you know, I started doing balloons, and clearly have a talent for balloons, didn't even know that I did. And I'm just creative, and I put my heart and soul into everything that I do. So I believe whatever comes my way in another 2 years, that I will take that on as well. I will just keep taking it on, because I am up for every challenge, and I know that I will succeed with every challenge. Because I trust myself. I trust that I am going to do it. I trust that I'm going to do what I set out to do, and I trust that I'm going to do it well. And I also trust that if there's any failures along the way, that I'm going to be okay with that, because I had the mindset to cope.
Yes, I remember I asked you the question. You were like, I really want to do the mini mind again, and I'm nervous no one's going to sign up. And I go, okay, so what happens if no one signs up? And you were like, no one signs up. And I was like, all right, then are you going to die? And you were like, no, I'm doing it again. You were like, that's a great question. I love asking people. I'm like, so what's the worst that can happen? And then you realize that the worst is not even that bad of a outcome.
No, absolutely not. And the thing is, since launching my mini minds, they've been the absolute success. They've got busier and busier every month, and I just want to go bigger and better with them. And I just can't believe, like, if you'd have said to me, oh, you'll be coaching other people, I think I'd have laughed in your face. But now I believe so much in myself now. I'm like, yeah, of course I can coach. Look what I've been through. Like, I've been through all of that, so I can talk money mindset all day long. I've been through like extreme stress, because obviously there was other things happening at the time, which we don't need to go into. It's very depressing. So literally everything was being chucked on my shoulders at this time. And I've grown an Instagram. I've been there. I've done that. I've had clients that are rude. I've had clients that are incredibly amazing. I've had clients that tell you you're too expensive. I've had people that don't batter an eyelid at your prices. I've done it all in 2 years, and longer than 2 years. What is it now? It's 2 years and 4 months. 2 years and 4 months. So we're approaching 2.5 years. And I feel like, okay, there's people that have been in this industry 5 years, 10 years, 15 years that have got so much more on me, but I could stand up there and fight my corner with the best of them, because I feel like I've got these life skills to share, and I've got a whole different perspective on everything, because it's, for me, it's not just balloons. It's
Yes.
mindset and mental health and looking at things differently. And yeah, the strategy is really important, very important, but I think there's ways of doing the strategy, and I just like to empower people because I feel empowered now,
Yes.
and to empower other women, and also to support other women, because I don't think that there's enough people out there that do support
and there's
empower
so much
women.
room for everyone. That's the funniest part. Loretta will see me doing something. She's like, I really want to add something like that to my business, and I don't want to copy you. And I'm like, honey, take everything that I have done and do it, because I know you're going to smash it. People need more coaches. They need more of this love in their life. And it's like, I think you're totally right, where people could be so much more supportive, and we could all rise up together.
100%. I it's like with my girls on the mini mind, I say to them all the time, well, just look what I'm doing, look what I've put, look what I'm doing. Do you like that reel? Take that idea, make it your own, roll with it. I tell them that all the time.
I love
and
it.
I think everyone's got this fear of like, oh, I don't want to copy you. And I definitely, because I'm new into the coaching world, I definitely think, oh no, I don't want to copy Samantha.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I think we're just ingrained with, but
Yes.
actually we're all here to support each other. And this is what I'm also with manifestation. I believe that it's removed the, how do I put this politely? The journey I've been on has brought some people into my life that are questionable. And it's taught me these humongous lessons. And when I've really got into my manifestation and been able to attract the right people in my world, it's got rid of the dirty rubbish.
Oh, I love that.
So now I'm surrounded by people that lift me up instead of people that are trying from me. So those people that were in my life are gone, and the universe removed them, but I do believe they were put there to teach me some lessons. I really do, because the situations that surrounded those things, I needed to learn.
Yes.
And I honestly believe it's made me a better coach. These situations happened to me before I coached, and I was like, no, I think, yeah, you can be upset at the time and you question why these people are in your life, but they say that people are in your life for a reason and a season and all of that. Oh, please trust that everything happens for a reason. And I never ever would have thought that before. And now I'm coaching, I'm just attracting these absolute badass women, and I'm obsessed with it, completely obsessed with it. And I'm just making friends that I wish I'd have made in my 20s.
Oh, I love that. And I always say, I actually get excited if something goes wrong in the business, you have a failed launch, you get a refund request, something like that, because just like you said, it teaches you how to be a better coach for when your clients go through it. And then you could say, I've been there, done that. You're in amazing hands. Yes. The next thing I wanted to say is our vibe really for your business in 2023 is like, get it. You've worked so hard. It's getting to that place where you're working less, more passive income, building this empire. And I'm so excited for that. And then the last thing I wanted to say, because I already realized that I want you to come back eventually to do an episode just about riffing about money mindset and everything that we've learned. Because we could talk about money mindset, the both of us, for days. So we won't bring it onto this podcast. But
it's a whole subject of its own, isn't it?
Yes. But my last question for you is, and this one's a big one, so you could take your time on this. What's your best piece of advice for someone who maybe is a woman entrepreneur, either was in your situation and maybe has debt and wants to invest in herself, or just wants to build her business? Like, what would you say you would tell yourself, your past self?
Oh, okay.
I know.
This feels like I need to come out with some absolutely like life-changing quote for you, but it's simple. you have to trust yourself. I honestly believe self-trust, that when you invest in yourself, because it's not if, it's when you invest in yourself, because you have to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, who is going to invest in you? What client is going to want to work with you or buy from you or whatever if you don't trust in you and you don't invest in you? Who is going to want to do that? No
Absolutely.
one, because even you are sitting there like, oh, I don't really trust myself. I don't trust my products. So therefore, be like me. Jump in, take the leap. I took a massive leap of faith and it worked. And I don't believe that anyone that takes a leap of faith would ever turn around and regret it. I don't believe that leap of faiths don't work. I don't believe it for a second, because whether it doesn't work out the way that you planned it in your head, because let's face it, we all have this plan, but actually take the leap of faith, don't have a plan, and let it just evolve, because it's so magical where it takes you. And trust yourself and take the leap of faith is just the biggest advice I could give to anyone. Invest in yourself. It is the most important thing ever.
I'm obsessed with that piece of advice. And something I always say is it's actually not, which is so funny about trusting your coach. It's trusting yourself to take the action and the strategy that your coach gives you. And that's exactly what I didn't do anything. You put in all this hard work into your business, and that is why you're here.
This is exactly it. So this is something that I kind of think about with my students. And when I come to you, what's that saying? You can take the horse to water, but you can't
get it
force
to drink. Yeah.
If you're not going to do the work, you are the only person that is in your own way. You are the only person that is making it not work. Because if you put the hard work in, you are going to see results. It's inevitable that you will see results. But
it's crazy.
Some people are lazy and they don't want to put the work in. They just want results, and they want you to give them the answer. They just want you to say, oh, this is what it is and this is what you need to do. But no, actually, sometimes you need to do the uncomfortable inner work and find out for your bloody self what needs to be done, and have a long, hard look at yourself sometimes. The harsh reality of that.
I love that. And every time I have a client sign up with me, I tell them on the first session, I'm like, I have my star clients, and how I have those star clients is those are the one I can tell you, I see the exact difference between the people who make it and the ones that don't. And it's my coaching isn't different. It's the work ethic of the client is different.
Oh, couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Not everybody has work ethic, and we can all be working in the same industry. Everyone's got different strategies of how they're doing it, but you can see the ones that succeed and the ones that don't. You can spot them a mile. Even I could spot them before I did coaching, though, to be fair. And I just don't be afraid of hard work, because actually once you get off your ass and start working, it's actually not that hard.
It's addicting. It's addicting. And it's funny because everyone thinks of hard work as the word hard. And like when you say you have to take action, the action doesn't have to be hard. It's actually really fun and really easy, but you have to do it.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's that story, isn't there, of the boy and the horse in the woods, where the boy doesn't know, he can't see a way out, and then the horse says to him, but can you see your next step? And he says, yeah. And then the horse says, well, just take that. You don't need to see the whole story. You just need to take the next step. And this was me with my training videos, because obviously we haven't spoke about the fact that I have training. We talked about the business coaching, and we've talked about the balloons for my clients, but actually I do offer training. I train other balloonies, and I've trained them from all over the world now. And I did my one-to-ones, and I did all of this. And I decided, I made a massive life decision recently that I'm not going to do the one-to-ones anymore. I'm going to take them off the menu for a while.
So excited about this.
Yes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make videos for them to purchase on my website. Well, that was a massive, massive blockage for me. I was like, okay, I don't know how to get there. I don't know what I want. Do I feel happy about this? Have I made the right decision? So I was the boy in the woods with the horse. I couldn't see the way out. I couldn't see the end. For me, I always have to visualize it. And I believe if you can visualize it, that's how you can make it come true, right?
Yes.
If you can visualize something, you can make it a reality.
Oh.
And I couldn't quite visualize what I had going on in my head. And then one day I woke up and I was like, yep, I've got this visualization in my head. I've got this now. I've got this. I just need to take my next step.
Yes.
So my next step was book a haul. So I booked a haul. And the step before that was talking to my friend and getting her to come and help me film it. She's another fellow balloon artist. We should be completely in competition with each other, but we're not. We're besties.
Yes.
And I brought her with me. And I said, right, can I hire you to just record me and sort all this out for me? Because I know that I won't have the time for that. So this was where I could visualize it. I was like, this is going to work if I have people to help. So I took my next step, and here we are. We're going to launch it hopefully before Christmas. We've got obviously a few technical things to sort out by editing, putting it all together, and we're going to be launching that. And I'm so excited about that because I think it can reach more people than my one-to-ones could. But I just felt like it was really important to say that felt like hard work for me.
Yes.
But it's not. It was so enjoyable. I had the best day. It was just that story, that sort of analogy there to tell you that you don't always have to see the outcome. Just take that step. So whether that be when you get up in the morning and you've got a job you've got to do, or you want to advertise something, just take that first step. Just do something. Take inspired action towards the goal. And that's what I do. I just don't sit still. I just act, because again, another thing that I love from Gary Vee, when you overthink, you slow down. Ooh. And when you slow down, people pass you. Oh, they're just going to go straight past you. And like literally, I'm like, that quote resonates with me so much. So I just don't slow down. I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit there thinking about these videos because someone else can just come along and do it. And I've missed my opportunity. Well, no, this is my opportunity. This is my now. This is my life. I'm doing it.
Your turn.
I couldn't see the outcome. So I just took my next step. And once you take that first step, my goodness, it's like a lit path right in front of you. And you just keep going down this lit path.
Yes.
And then there's a beautiful rainbow at the end.
Oh, I think people would be shocked too to know how much of our conversations rely on Google. Like me and Loretta will literally be like, she'll be like, I want to do this in my business, you know how? And I'll Google it, send her a link, and we'll get on it. Like, it is so funny how people think it's this huge, you have to know everything. The internet has it all. You don't.
You don't have to know everything. Absolutely not. There's always ways to find out. And this is why I love being friends with people from all over the world. And I love being friends with people that are more experienced than me, because you can offer so much to each other. Yes. And you can help each other. And that's a massive, massive important thing for me, to just be friends with lots of people in my industry.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things is and then we'll get into the ways to work with you and wrap up. But my last thing is, I had Loretta in a mini mind with another one of my favorite one-on-one clients, Abby. And it was funny because the same thing with this story, Abby really wanted, she needed to find a bigger space for her meal prepping business. And the same thing, we walked her through. It just felt like this huge undertaking of finding a whole, basically like restaurant, like meal prepping place with a kitchen and everything to undergo, and a mortgage and everything like that. And what we did is we just broke it down into steps for her and just said, just look around, just look if there is that space. And what I find that people do is they make everything so big and overwhelming in their head that, like you said, they just don't take the first step. Now, Abby literally has her own place, her own meal prepping place, and she's expanded her business, and it was so easy and so exciting. But I think what we do, and people like me and Loretta, which is, I've never talked like this before, the confidence, but it's like, we take your dreams and we actually do make it a physical reality. And that's what
Yeah.
I feel like sums up.
Yeah.
We believe in the magical, and we believe that there's nothing that's too big for us to overcome. And this is why I tell Loretta every day, I'm like, I know you're going to be a millionaire, multi-millionaire. I would bet on it. I absolutely know that.
Would you bet
because
a
you're
million on it?
I'll bet $1 million on it. Your first million, I'll take it once. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But because I know you and I know your work ethic, and I know there's nothing in this life that you would ever be like, I can't do that. You're going to do it. You're going to smash it. Just like that first sticky note.
Give it a go. Yeah, just give it a go. Absolutely. And I think the more that I was succeeding in my business, the confidence just built up for me. And I was like, yeah, I can do anything that I put my mind to. And like you were just saying just then, that people build it up to be really big in their head. And I think that turns into overthinkers and procrastinators.
Yes.
That's what that turns into. And that is what I work a lot on with the girls on the mini mind, because that is what I find people typically do. They overthink and they procrastinate, and they make the issue bigger in their head than it actually is. So working to break it down, it's so simple. Like, yes, I have said time and time again, business is hard, right? It's hard, but really, actually, is hard the right word? Because I find business easy.
Yep, me too.
Because I work so hard at it. And I find business easy because I want it to be easy. I'm coming back to that want again. I want it to be easy, so I find ways to make it easy for myself. So it's not, people are like, yeah, but how do you make it easy? Or how can you say that it's so hard for me? You're making it harder for yourself by keep saying it's hard, and you're so negative. Whereas if you take that away and actually take some steps to say, this is how I'm going to make it easier for myself. I could literally give you a load of reasons, a load of lists right now to tell you how to make your business easier. I won't, because you can do that by working with us. But there is a list of ways to make your life easier. Are you going to do it? That's the question. Have you got it in you to actually say, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that to make my life easier? Are you going to do it? Half the people won't.
Yes. I love that. That is the perfect way to absolutely wrap up this episode. And that's the message that we wanted to get across, was that, take the action. That is why she's where she is, period. That's it. And so this was absolutely one of my favorite podcast episodes. I just adore you. I'm so glad you're more than a client. You know that you are literally like my bestie. We're obsessed with each other, and I'm literally cried the other day on my stories because I am so overwhelmingly proud of you. And I just feel like I'm a part of your family at this point. Like
you are a part of my life.
Oh,
you was there in the worst times of my life, when I didn't have anyone. I didn't have any friends there for me at that time in my life. So people get scared when you're going through bad times, so they kind of run away. But okay, I was paying you for a service, but you wasn't scared to go deep with me. So you really do need to understand you were my friend. And it got me through, because sometimes you just need a friend, don't you?
Yeah. I love you so much.
And I love you. This is honestly, you are one of my, I know we've never met, but I will always respect you, and I will never ever forget how we worked together, and how you just had so much patience digging deep with all of my damaged goods, as I say.
You were always perfect to me. And I think that it's funny that I think clients always think that they're just getting something from the relationship, but our relationship has changed everything for me, my business, my outlook on life. The way that I see a professional relationship. I think that you can have this infinite love for your client, and it's not unprofessional. Like, this is what I want. Yeah.
I have that with all of my girls. I tell them all the time, this is not a business transaction for me. I genuinely want to help you. Yes, this is my job. This is how I pay my mortgage. This is how I live now. Yes, you pay me, but there is no amount of money that will take away the feeling behind it, and I genuinely love their businesses, and I genuinely, like, all of their names pop into my head when I'm talking to you. Like,
Yes.
They're all incredible, and I could list every single one of them to you and say to you, oh, you need to meet this one, this one, this one. And all of them, literally now I can see all of their faces. I'm thinking of them, and they have changed my life. So
Yes.
I can't imagine for you, I can imagine actually for you what it must have been like meeting me, and now 2 years later where we're at. Like, this is like a friendship love story, but
Yes.
also an incredible like a business story as well, though, for you and for me.
Yeah, 1,000%. It's one of the greatest gifts that you have given me. Like, to watch you succeed is one of the greatest gifts of my whole coaching career. I'm going to cry again, you guys. Here's But
we're getting deeper and deeper.
Yes, I also want you guys to know that we're just getting started. Like, I think that's the most exciting part, is that I would be fine if they ended your story here. They wrote the book, it's done, but it's so crazy because we're on chapter 1, and this isn't like, you're going to see her everywhere one day, but also this isn't the end for her on this podcast. I'll probably have her on like a bazillion more times. I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it. But before we go, please tell everyone all the ways to work with you. And I'll put all of her information, of course, in the show notes, so you can go be one of her 50,000 followers and just adore her like I do. But yeah, give us the ways to work with you.
Well, first of all, I need to reach 50K first. I know I'm not far off. I've actually got to reach that goal. And when I reach that goal, I'd like to do a nice, beautiful display.
Love it.
I know that I will reach the goal. It's just not important. It's not the end goal. It's just a nice bonus along the way, isn't it? So obviously I do balloons. So anybody that's listening that's local to me can have me to do their balloons.
And where are you located?
So I'm in Essex in the UK, which is south. So balloons, I do balloons, I do events, I do all of that, and I'm sure I would be doing all of Samantha's if I lived with her. With you, near you. So the other 2 ways that you can work with me, which is more accessible to everybody all over the world, is I will be launching my training videos for people that are in the balloon industry and are ready to up their game, and they can make premium bouquets the perfectly popped way. Don't recommend it for beginners, because I really don't think they'd know what I was talking about, where to buy stock. You know, it's not about that. It's literally the art and the technique. So it's for people that do balloons. And the third way is business coaching. I have opened my doors to mini minds where I business coach, and I help. I'm very much into the mindset side of things, because that's where I felt the most powerful with my journey. Yes, I help with the strategy of how I built my Instagram, and yes, I help with ideas and but mainly I love the mindset. I love helping people that feel stuck in a rut, and just I love holding their hand and telling them it's okay and that I can help them.
Oh, I love it. Yes. So I'll leave all of her information below. And she's perfectly popped balloons on Instagram. But I am so glad. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and coming on the podcast. It was literally a pleasure, and I can't wait to have you back. But I love you so much. And I just can't wait to see what our future holds.
I have loved coming on your podcast. This is my first experience, and I am obsessed with it. I want to do a podcast and have you come on mine.
Yes. It's so funny. My last client, the episode before this, who came on my podcast, she's now gonna have her own podcast because of the experience. So we're
all gonna be like podcast queens by the end of this, because we all love talking. I mean, I'd need to find another day in the week to add on to get that done, but it's been a pleasure, and even if I just keep coming on yours, I've loved it. Thank you so much for choosing me, for helping me, for loving my business, and for everything that you do for me. Thank you.
Oh, I love you so much. Okay, guys, we'll end there, else we'll be here forever, but we love you and thank you for listening.